Hey, it's Patricia Murphy. It's Monday, and this is Seattle Now. This wildfire season has been historic, and so has the loss. Thousands of homes have burned as people grabbed what they could and fled. In a minute, KUOW correspondent Anna King will give us an update on the wildfires in Washington. But first, let's get you caught up. Pier 58, also known as Waterfront Park, partially collapsed Sunday, sending several people into the water and 2 construction workers to the hospital. Workers began removing the pier Saturday. It's been closed since officials discovered that it had shifted several inches. Weather conditions are improving, and firefighters are beginning to get a handle on dozens of wildfires burning in the Pacific Northwest. More than 1.5 million acres in Washington and Oregon have burned. Air quality around the Puget Sound region is expected to improve today as showers and marine air move in. Over the weekend, beaches and parks were shut down. Outdoor dining was a bust, and some small businesses just closed to protect workers. Even the Washington State Fair had to cancel its drive-through fair food event. And if you can believe it, some good news. Russell Wilson threw 4 touchdown passes to lead the Seattle Seahawks to a 38-25 victory over the Atlanta Falcons in the season opener. No fans in Atlanta because of the coronavirus, of course. All 22 Seahawks and Falcons players took a knee to protest racial injustice. It was a rough weekend in Seattle. The city was enshrouded in a massive cloud of smoke. The air was unsafe to breathe, and the sky was the color of caramel. This smoke is mostly from fires in California and Oregon. And while we're feeling some of the effects, others have had to flee. Some have died among these historically bad fires. Anna King is here. She's a KUOW reporter based in Richland and is going to update us. Hi, Anna.
Hey, Murph.
Anna, what do we know about the wildfires in Washington right now?
What we know is that the fires are laying down a little bit right now. There's, the smoke is hard on all of our lungs, but it blocks the sun and makes cooler temperatures. And firefighters are digging lines like crazy. They're out there trying to create containment around a lot of different fires in the Northwest. Some are coming into more containment, but some fires, like the Pearl Hill fire, is visible from Brewster, still burning with winds.
And we heard a lot last week about the town of Malden, which was destroyed. Do you have any updates from that town?
So I talked with Bill Moreland, who wrote a piece for the New York Times on September 9th. He told me that Jay Inslee visited the destruction on Thursday, that he was there the day before. And he was saying that, 80% of the town is gone. And when you think about that, that's just a number. It's kind of hard to understand. But when you think about that 125 residences and buildings were in the town and 98 of them, Patricia, are gone. City Hall is gone. Wow. The fire station is gone. A fire truck that was in the fire station got burnt up. The library is gone, the food pantry is gone, the post office is gone. And he was wondering when he left the town, will this spell the end of Malden? Will this be the end of this little town? Because sometimes these little towns are struggling on their own, let alone having a fire wipe them out.
Oh, Anna, that stunning devastation. And I know that Governor Inslee has signed proclamations to try to get food and cash assistance to people who have been impacted by these fires, obviously in the town of Malden and other places. And there's lots of GoFundMes circulating for people who have lost things. But what are you hearing from people about how they're getting by right now?
A lot of people that I've spoken to, they're dealing with burned down homes. They've lost family members. They've lost pets. They have moved livestock out of the way of the fires. They're displaced in some sort of shelter, or they're taking care of people that are at fairgrounds or other types of shelters, trying to just pass the time as they wait to see if their house is burned down or not. It's really devastating a lot of people, and fairgrounds across the Northwest are just inundated with animals and people seeking shelter while they're waiting.
Again, it just sounds absolutely terrifying. And here in Seattle, we're experiencing smoke, not these fires firsthand. And even though we all feel terrible and we feel this more deeply, is there something that perhaps we should understand about these fires because we aren't living in them?
I would say in these types of conditions, we all need to be prepared. We've seen fires attack major cities and towns in places like Canada, where they have cut major borders around towns, major fire breaks around towns in green space to try to make a perimeter for fire after experiencing such big blazes that take down towns. So Seattle is not immune. And if you think about Seattle, it's one large forest that goes from urban trees in the center of the town all the way up to Snoqualmie Pass and all the way down the other side of the pass. So if a major fire started burning on a hillside and came down to town, or conversely, if a fire started in town and burned up the hillside, either way it could go. It's just one big forest, and it could have a fire. So my advice is, know what you're going to take. Know what you need, your medications. You should also, trim the trees in your garden. Make sure there's a green space around your house that's irrigated. Put screens on your house vents and your eaves. And there's more guidance online, but there's many ways you can protect your house and make your house more of a fortress against fire. I've gone into communities where some houses have survived and others have not, and it's usually the people that prepared ahead of time.
Anna, I keep hearing the phrase that this is the new normal, which seems unfathomable to me right now. But you have covered wildfires in rural Washington for a good long time. What does this mean to you?
These large blazes are just becoming more and more common, and they're faster moving, and people aren't ready for them. And I think we have to kind of get over the thought that this is just an anomaly or this is just September this year. We have to think this is a new season. We have spring, summer, smoke, winter, and fall. And these are the seasons now. And we just have to start thinking as far as, how am I going to protect myself? Where am I going to go? This year you guys had more fires close to you in Bonnie Lake and Puyallup. And you also had fires burning just outside of Portland, Oregon, in many areas and communities just outside of Portland, and even up to the Portland city limits. And this is the problem. I think that folks in the city have kind of been like, well, it's just smoky, or the fire's just over there, and you don't have to get real serious about it. But I think these urban fires are what's going to be happening more commonly.
Anna, obviously there has been tremendous loss there. We are far from over. These fires are still burning actively. And it seems like every few years I hear arguments about the way we manage forest land. I wonder what it might mean moving forward about how we manage our forests in the future here. Could this be a turning point?
I hope it is. I think people are slow to see big change if they don't see it with their own eyes. But being on so many large fires over the years and seeing the destruction, it's clear and present in my mind that you have to change what you're doing and how you react. Climate change is real. It is happening in the West. Our forests are drying. They're becoming sicklier. They're overstocked with trees. And we need to come up with a different system so that we can be safer. And I've gone to many clinics and many expeditions out into the Montana forests and other places to learn about this. And there's a lot we can do. We're not helpless, but we have to start somewhere.
Anna King, thank you very much for your reporting and your knowledge on fires.
Glad to be here, Murph.
Hi, I'm Patricia Murphy, host of Seattle Now. Thank you for watching. If you think this work is important and want to support us, subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment, and check out KUOW.org for local news.